It began as a connection that many would never have expected, a relationship that, in the final years of his life, became a defining chapter. Brandon Blackstock, once the husband of one of America's most famous and widely admired singers, found a deep and personal bond with a woman who had, for years, been closely involved in his former wife's professional world. The detail emerged publicly in the obituary published after Brandon's passing. It described how he had discovered a beautiful and loving partner in Brittany Marie Jones, someone who not only shared his personal life, but also stood alongside him in his business ventures. The tribute painted a picture of two people working side by side with a shared determination, building a future together. They were credited with creating Headwaters' livestock auction and with laying the groundwork for what would be remembered as Brandon's lasting achievement, the Valley View Rodeo in Bozeman, Montana. Brandon's path ended unexpectedly last Thursday. After a quiet, private battle with a serious illness, he left this world at 48. His passing came without public warnings or earlier announcements, which added a sense of suddenness and shock for those who knew him or had followed his career. Brittany Jones's own career history makes their connection even striking. According to her LinkedIn profile, she served as the personal assistant to Kelly Clarkson, the original American Idol winner, and Brandon's ex-wife, from 2016 until 2020. That final year she worked for Clarkson was also the year the singer filed for divorce from Blackstock. The end of their marriage was anything but swift. What followed was a lengthy and often difficult legal process, stretching over several years. In 2022, the divorce was finally settled. Under the terms of that agreement, Clarkson retained ownership of their sprawling Montana ranch. She, however, chose a life far from Montana, living in New York City with the couple's two children, River, now 11, and Remington, now 9. Blackstock remained in Montana, embracing the life and landscape he had made his own. In December 2024, he and Jones launched the Valley View Rodeo, an event and project that became a symbol of their shared efforts. Reports from the U.S. Sun emphasized how closely they worked together both professionally and personally in the months leading up to his passing. The full nature of their relationship has not been officially clarified. Still, it is known that Brittany had a past of her own. Public records indicate she was previously married to drummer Greg Goose LaPointe, a detail that quietly adds another layer to the overlapping histories and connections surrounding this story.
On September 11, 2021, Greg Goose LaPointe marked a personal milestone on Instagram. His post featured a carousel of photos showing him and Brittany Marie Jones celebrating 1 year of marriage, smiling, posing together, seemingly enjoying a happy moment in their shared life. The images projected warmth and closeness, but time has a way of changing even the most hopeful stories. It now appears that the couple eventually parted ways. While no official statement has been made, Page Six reported that they were unable to independently verify the exact circumstances or timing of the split between LaPointe and Jones. Still, it has been noted that LaPointe has moved forward in his personal life. Reports suggest he has been in a relationship with a woman named Erika Vanessa since February, indicating that his chapter with Jones had firmly closed. Yet despite the end of that marriage, the connection between Jones and Brandon Blackstock seemed to hold profound meaning for those close to them. The depth of their bond was underscored by a public message from Jones' father. In a Facebook tribute posted shortly after Blackstock's passing, he described Brandon not just as his daughter's partner, but as her soulmate. His words carried both personal grief and a sense of admiration. "Yesterday we lost a good man, Brandon Blackstock, my daughter's soulmate, and I considered him my son. My sincere condolences to Brittany Jones and family. We're sure going to miss your funny humor. R.I.P. Haas." The message offered a glimpse into how warmly Blackstock had been embraced by Jones' family, and how his passing had left a gap that words alone could not fill. In the midst of this, Page Six reached out to representatives for Kelly Clarkson, Brandon Blackstock, and Brittany Jones, hoping to obtain further comments or clarifications. At the time, no immediate responses were provided. While the public may have assumed that following their divorce, Clarkson and Blackstock had moved on to entirely separate lives, events in his final months suggest a more complex reality. After their marriage ended, Blackstock began a new chapter with Jones, but Clarkson herself was not absent from his final days. In fact, according to prior reports, Clarkson played a direct role in caring for him during his illness. Earlier this year, the 43-year-old singer temporarily stepped back from her demanding professional schedule. She took a hiatus from her own talk show in February and March, a program that bears her name and requires her near-constant presence, in order to devote time to him. This decision reflected a personal commitment that went beyond the formal conclusion of their marriage. Her care and involvement did not stop there. Most recently, just before Blackstock's passing, Kelly Clarkson canceled several performances from her Las Vegas residency. This was the second time she had postponed those shows, and while no official statement detailed the reason, the timing made clear the weight of the circumstances. These decisions, in the face of a career that thrives on live appearances, underscored how personal priorities had shifted in those final days.
Kelly Clarkson has not yet spoken publicly about the loss of her former husband. However, those close to the situation have shared a glimpse into her private emotions. According to a source, the singer was devastated, not only by the reality of his passing, but by the impact it would inevitably have on their children. When she found out that he was sick, she remained protective of him for their sake, the insider told People, emphasizing that Clarkson had always tried to keep things classy, despite the history between them. The source further revealed that it became clear earlier this year that Brandon's health was deteriorating. This knowledge weighed heavily on her, with her focus shifting entirely to River and Remington's well-being. She's been devastated for the kids, the insider reiterated, underlining how her concern was rooted in protecting them from as much emotional harm as possible. In the final months, as his illness became more apparent to those around him, Clarkson reportedly adjusted her priorities. Despite their differences in the past, her actions reflected a commitment to shielding their children from the harshest realities of loss, a choice that blended compassion, responsibility, and quiet strength. Her silence in the public sphere may speak volumes, suggesting that some grief is too personal to be shared with the world. For Clarkson, the focus now seems to rest on guiding her children through a loss that will inevitably shape their lives while preserving the memory of their father in a way that honors who he was to them. The story of Brandon Blackstock's final years is one of intertwined paths, unexpected reconnections, and the enduring ties of family, even after love has taken a different form. It is also a reminder of how complicated human relationships can be, how they can evolve, fracture, and at times find moments of grace amid pain. Sometimes the public only sees fragments: headlines, court dates, career moves. What remains unseen is the quiet effort behind the scenes, the choices made to protect loved ones, and the emotional cost of those choices. In the end, there are no easy answers, only the recognition that life is rarely as simple as it appears from the outside. For those left behind, the challenge lies in carrying the weight of the past while moving toward the future. What about you? Do you think it's possible to keep compassion alive after a painful separation? And how far should one go to protect their children from the realities of loss?